In Europe, shoppers take small and affordable cars very seriously. They want great looks, interiors, and driving manners even if they're not spending loads of cash. For years in North America, automakers got away with selling us four-wheeled appliances when we bought affordable little cars. But shoppers here caught on that we were getting the unfavorable end of the stick when it came to the small car market, and started demanding that we get more globally designed cars like this one, the Hyundai Elantra GT. With shoppers demanding better small cars and automakers globalizing their product lineups, a new age has come upon the segment. We now have more fantastic options in affordable small cars than ever, largely thanks to European-derived models like this variant of Hyundai's popular Elantra. Competing with other highly cultured machines from Mazda, Ford, Subaru, and others, this German-designed Korean five-door puts the focus on versatility and space, as well as numerous engineering implements and features for a premium motoring experience. Elantra sedan and coupe are tuned primarily for comfort, but under this Elantra GT 5 doors floor pan, engineers specified thicker stabilizer bars, a stiffer twist beam, sportier suspension damper rates, and premium shock absorbers, all intended to improve responsiveness, agility, and the overall feel of the car. And up top, you get plenty of room and flexibility. Elantra GT is at or near the top of its class in most measurements, and I noted no issues with headroom or legroom. Even the rear seats are adult-friendly in size, and they fold down for more space, even offering seat bottoms that flip up and out of the way, so you've got a totally flat rear cargo floor. Beneath the rear of that floor, there's a shallow organizer system to help keep items in order and out of sight, and there's room on top for the pup to lounge about as well. This type of compact five-door model is proving very popular these days as shoppers put the priority on flexibility and room without stepping up into an SUV. It's got all of the space that most couples or young families will probably need. The cabin gets some upscale materials, numerous contrasting colors and textures for a rich look, and a high-tech atmosphere supported by numerous control panels, interfaces, and this gorgeous center display that houses this next-generation central infotainment system. Fitted with a more powerful graphics processor than before for more visual horsepower, the menus are intuitive, the system reacts very quickly, and it's all incredibly easy to use, a refreshing touch in this segment. I paired my Bluetooth in about 8 seconds, and I didn't even swear once. Elsewhere, look for featured content fitting of a fully loaded limited model. There's a panoramic glass roof, heated power leather seats, automatic lights and climate control, and push-button start. For short trips or long ones, you're well backed up for a relaxing and comfortable drive with all this featured content helping add convenience at every turn. It's really about as generous a feature list as you're going to find in a machine that comes in at a sliver over 27 grand. That includes this driver selectable steering system, which offers up 3 modes to help fit your current needs or driving style, using this button to pick between light and lazy comfort steering, or stiff and heavy sport steering, or just the one-size-fits-all normal setting. I like the sport setting though. The heavier steering feels nicely calibrated against the Elantra GT's sporty suspension for a feeling of locked-on confidence. Head for a rough road on your test drive though. As it tends to go, a stiffer suspension like this one makes the car handle better, but at the expense of ride quality on rough surfaces, where the Elantra GT's suspension can become noisy and abrupt at times. The trade-off is worth it for drivers who speed up for winding roads. When you do find occasion to rip through some bends, you'll feel that extra attention put into how the car handles and responds. Elantra GT just feels that bit more stable, confidence-inspiring, and lively than the norm in this segment when you get to browse some twisties at speed.
Power comes from a 2-liter 4-cylinder good for 173 horsepower, and that's sent to the front wheels by a 6-speed automatic in the case of this tester. Now notably, this engine uses gasoline direct injection, which puts the fuel injector right inside of the combustion chamber and sprays gasoline straight into the cylinder at extreme pressure, which benefits performance and fuel mileage simultaneously depending on how you're driving it. Now there's an active eco mode that you can engage with a button that's down here, and that gives up a little bit of throttle response in exchange for fuel economy if that's your priority, or you can turn that off and use the manual shift gate on the automatic transmission to browse the rev range, where you'll find plenty of pull across the entire tachometer and a good bit of thrust reserved for higher revs. Now if you're a sportier driver, you can even get a manual 6-speed stick on the low to mid-grade Elantra GT models too. Now this engine is not the segment's pinnacle of smoothness or quietness or refinement. I'd say that's probably the Mazda 3, but it does perform adequately. It's quiet and smooth when you drive it gently, and there's a broad power curve, meaning that it's responsive at virtually any RPM. And the sound at full throttle, well, it's a pleasing growl that makes it sound eager to work.
The engine did impress in one other important area on my watch: mileage. After 1,343 kilometers of driving, plenty of which were on the highway at a good clip, the Elantra GT put away a real-life, measured by hand, 7.5 liter per 100 kilometer overall average, which is among the best figures I've recorded in a car like this one. Other notes: this is clever. The rearview camera has a clear display and it won't get blocked by snow or dirt since it hides in here when it's not in use. Also, there are no fewer than 3 recharging points at the driver's fingertips with plenty of nearby storage, so no issues keeping your things organized and recharged on the go. Let's sum it up. You're going to like the flexibility, relative space, slick central infotainment system, and numerous thoughtful touches inside that all add to the flexibility and convenience. Adult-friendly rear seat room and mileage were appreciable too, and the lively handling, if that's your thing, in a 5-door is easy to appreciate. But some drivers will wish for a quieter and more comfortable ride on rough roads. That's the trade-off for the handling, and the engine, despite performing adequately and getting good mileage, could be quieter when pushed. End of the day, the Elantra GT will appeal highly on space, flexibility, and feature content relative to its price, and especially to a shopper after a 5-door that's on the sporty side where ride and handling are concerned. This one's a good, solid, all-around value with many strengths and few weaknesses, and it'll be great for families and pet owners alike. Cross-shop this one against comparable versions of the Ford Focus, Subaru Impreza, and Mazda 3 if you're in the market. Thanks for watching.